Welcome in, everyone. We're going to be doing some TSI Acuplacer math test. Okay, so if you know anybody trying to take the TSI or really any entrance exam math test for college, please share this live with them. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Ashley. Welcome in. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to start with C. So it says the square root of 4 minus x equals x minus 2. Now, how you're going to do this is you have to cancel out a square root. So to cancel out a square root, we have to take the square of both sides, okay? And this is where a lot of people get tripped up because these cancel each other. They're inverses of each other. So we could just drop down 4 minus x. But where people go wrong is here. We have to look at this as x minus 2 and x minus 2, okay? Because this squared means you're doing this base 2 times. And then we have to multiply this out. Now, you can use FOIL, you could use box, you can use whatever way gets you the right answer, right? I was doing last night the box method, so I'm going to do that here. Okay. And basically, you take this first binomial and put it here. So we put the x and then the minus 2. And then we put the x and minus 2, okay? And then we're going to multiply. Do you do tutoring for the ASVAB? Yes, Ashley. I've helped thousands of people get a higher score, improve their score, or pass the ASVAB. Email me at impactmath19@gmail. Okay, I got you. gmail.com. All right. So x times x is x squared. Negative 2 times x gets us negative 2x. Negative 2 times x gets us negative 2x again. And negative 2 times negative 2 gets us a positive 4. Now we take out. You're so welcome, Ashley. Yep. Thank you for including me on your journey. I hope we can work together. So let's take these middle 4. X squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 4. Now here you see we have 2 middle terms that we can combine. And we're going to have x squared minus 4x plus 4. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in, everyone. We are doing TSI math. So if you know anybody that's struggling to get a higher score or pass the math on the TSI college entrance exam, please share this with them. All right, so we multiplied our binomials, got our trinomial, right? Now we're here. What you have to remember is we have to bring everything over to one side. So how do we move this to the other side? Can you guys put it in the chat? How do we get this to go to 0? Hey, Monique, thank you for the follow. Does anybody know? How do we get this to go to 0? Megan said minus 4 plus x. Wonderful, Megan. Yes, the pilot said minus 4. I love it. So we're going to minus 4 because it's a positive 4 to both sides. And then we're going to add this x. This cancels and we get 0 equals. We're going to drop down our x squared. And then negative 4x plus x gets us a negative 3x. Okay, somebody owes you $4. They paid you 1. They still owe you 3. And then 4 minus 4 cancels. So now we're here. All right. Does anybody know what we have to do next in order to solve for x? Can we see it in the chat? What do we have to do next? No. Divide by x, add 3x to both sides. Ooh, okay, so We can never divide by x because what if x is 0? And remember, you can never divide by 0 because that's undefined. Subtract 3x. What we actually want to do here, you guys, is factor. Factor, factor, factor. So what we want to do is we want to take out the x, pull it out. And how we pull it out is we write x, then we do a parenthesis. And we ask ourselves, x times what gives us x squared? Well, x times x does. Then we say x times what can give us negative 3x? Well, we need the negative 3. So if we distribute this back in here, we should end up here, okay? This still equals 0. Now we have to set each of these equal to 0. So we say, we're going to go up here, x equals 0 is one of our solutions. See, we had 0 here. So if we would have divided by x, understand that would have gave us an undefined. I hope that's making sense, okay? And then we do x minus 3 equals 0. And then we add this. So we're going to do plus 3, and we get x equals 3. So our solutions are x equals 0 and x equals 3. Now, good, HD. HD say yes. Well, whenever you have the square roots of something, you're technically supposed to plug them in to make sure it works, okay? So that will be our very last step. That's what you're supposed to do, okay? So you're supposed to plug in your answers to make sure they make sense, all right? So like here, let's plug in 3, okay? So if we plugged in 3, so this is what I mean by checking. If I put 3 into here, I would do 4 minus 3 equals 3 minus 2. Well, 4 minus 3 is 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. So these are equal. They check. And then we would do the same thing for 0, okay? So let's go to D. This one is where it's like, oh, right? We have 2 of these. Ooh. So I have a question for you guys. By squaring this, right? Can I just drop this down? So what I'm asking you, if I square it, can I just write it like this? 2x plus 5 plus 2x. Can I do that? Because I'm squaring it. And then up here, remember we said that's the inverse. Is that correct? Okay, so we got some yeses, we got some nos. No, you can't. Okay, so let me explain why. It's a difference. Here, we just had one square root, right? And this squared attached to this square root. That's why they're inverses. Whenever you have a plus sign in the middle, we can never do that. We cannot do that, okay? So I'm glad we cleared up that misunderstanding, okay? Whenever you have a plus sign, that doesn't work. So what you have to do is you have to write it twice. We have to do square root 2x plus 5 plus the square root of 2x. And then we're going to do it again because it's the squared. Square root 2x plus 5 plus the square root of 2x, okay? Equals, well, 3 squared, remember that's 3 times 3 equals 9. Whew, okay. This is where it starts to get crazy, okay? Because it's like, oh, what is all these square roots, right? Don't panic. Take it step by step, okay? So let's go over what a square root actually means, okay? Let's break that down. So then when we get to this, it's not like going crazy. So remember, like if we take a square root of 9, right? We say that's equal to 3, but let's talk about why it's equal to 3. We're looking for a number times itself. So 3 times 3, and when you take the square root, you're looking for a pair to come out as 1. So that's why the square root of 9 is this pairs of 3 and it comes out as 1. So let's go back to here. If we start by multiplying this times this, right? I'm going to write this. We have how many of these? We have 2 of them. So we could write this as 2x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. Well, since we have a pair, they can come out as 1. So this drops down to only being 1 2x plus 5 because the square root, remember, you're looking for a pair to come out. So that's why whenever you multiply a radical times itself, the radicals cancel and you can just write 1. I hope that makes sense. Put in the chat, double tap your screen if you're following me. Does it make sense? Thank you for the follows, you guys. Good, I see the double taps coming in. So whenever you multiply a radical times itself, remember, you have a pair, it comes out as 1. So now we did this times this. Now we're going to go this one times this one. Okay. These are not the same. So since they're not the same, we cannot get rid of the radical symbol. So we would have to say, we're going to write a big radical symbol, right? And we would get 2x times 2x plus 5. Okay. We can't get rid of this radical because these are not the same. So we have to just keep it like that. So we're going to drop it down. Radical 2x times 2x plus 5. Okay. Now, let's change up the colors so we don't get confused. So we did first, outer. We're going to go inner here. Okay. So again, we have 2x times 2x plus 5. So we're going to have another one of those. 2x times 2x plus 5, all underneath the radical. And then our last, which is here, is square root 2x times square root 2x. Well, remember, square root 2x times the square root of 2x, we have a pair. So it comes out as 1 2x. No, this is not calculus, but it's leading up to that. This is actually algebra 2, I would say, or if you're in honors algebra 1, you would kind of see this. Okay. Hey, Sip. So, okay, so we have that. And then we have equals 9. Hey, Sip. So, okay, so we have that. And then we have equals 9. 2x plus 5. We have 2 of these. So that's why we're going to put 2 out here, okay? Whew. All right, so now we're going to equal. We use this. We use that. We drop down our 5. We combine these to a 2 equals 9. All right. Now we can move this positive 5 to this side. We can move this over here by doing the inverse. We look at the sign, we say, opposite of plus is minus 5. So we can minus 5 here. That cancels. Now we have 4x plus 2 square root 2x times 2x plus 5 equals 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay. This one's going to be a long one. I should have gave a whole page for this. So now we can move this 4x over to this side. Okay, we can move this positive 4x because we're still trying to isolate this square root. Okay, so I'm going to minus 4x minus 4x. Now you see here, these are not like terms, right? Laughing out loud, I see nothing changed from high school. It still looks gibberish. Oh no. Not even looking gibberish still. I know. It's crazy. It really is, but it's like take it step by step by step. Okay. So this cancels. We're going to drop this down to square root 2x, parenthesis, 2x plus 5, okay? Equals, these are not like terms. So since they're not like terms, we write them right next to each other. So we're going to do 4 minus 4x, okay? Now, how can I get rid of this 2? Can anybody put it in the chat? Wait, how come the square in the original question didn't cancel out the roots? Wonderful. So why these did not cancel out is because we have a plus sign here. And so you can't cancel out it whenever you have an addition sign in the middle. It can only cancel out when you have one single square because the square is attached to that. So when you have a plus sign in the middle, you have to write it out twice. And then you have to do the foiling, multiplying it. And then you'll still end up with the square root. Divide by 2. Yes. Good. So we're going to divide because this 2 is times this. So we're going to cancel that by dividing by 2. Wonderful. So this cancels. And we get the square root of 2x times 2x plus 5 equals, now we can take half of this and half of this. So 2 minus 2x. Okay. Ooh, we need some more paper. Let me get some more paper. All right, so we're going to continue on to here, okay? So we're going to write it on here. We're going to continue on here. Whew. Okay, so let me put it on here. Let me put where we're at so far. We have 2x parenthesis 2x plus 5 equals the parenthesis of 2 minus 2x. Okay. Now, so let me put it over. Now that we have this, we want to cancel out this square root. Well, how do we cancel it out? We can now square both sides. Do you see how the square is attached to this radical symbol versus this square up here wasn't attached? It's not attached into anything because it's of the plus sign. Same thing here. It's attached to it. So that's why it cancels here. Never when you have a plus sign. I hope that makes sense of when it can cancel and when it cannot. Okay. So this cancels now. And now we're left with 2x parenthesis 2x plus 5 equals, don't fall for it. Remember, we have to write this twice. 2 minus 2x times 2 minus 2x. And then we have to multiply. OMG, you explain it so well. My math teacher doesn't even understand what he's doing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, we just got another subscriber to the Pack family. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 times 2, okay, is 4. We're going to go 2 times a negative 2, which gives you a negative 4x. And then we're going to do inner. Negative 2x times 2 is negative 4x. And then our last, a negative 2x times a negative 2x gives us a positive 4x. Don't fall for it. X times x is x squared. Okay. Again, we have like terms here. We also have some distributing that we could do now here. Okay. We could have done it a long time ago, but I don't want to do too many steps into one. I want really people to follow each process. I feel like, when you go higher in math, the less they show you. And I get it, because if you made it to that level, you're supposed to know. But sometimes if you just break down every step, it's easier for people to follow and then really grasp the concept and understand it. I think when you get higher in math, I think sometimes us as educators get lazy in our explaining, and it takes away from the fully processing of understanding what's happening. So that's why I'm showing each and every step, okay? So 2x times 2x gives us 4x squared. And 2x times 5 gives us plus 10x equals, all right? We're going to drop down this 4 because we're not using it. Negative 4x minus 4x. Somebody owes you $4. They say, let me get 4 more. Well, they're going to owe you $8, okay? Plus 4x squared. This one is a long one. Whew, I couldn't imagine. It's like, I think this is like if you're taking the calculus, trying to get in place into calculus in college, you would have this type of problem, okay? Because, this is like a lot. In high school, I had to drop out of calculus because I could not grasp it. Yeah, and it's not, I'm telling you, it probably wasn't because you couldn't grasp it. It's because they weren't explaining the steps all the way through. And I just feel like that just does a disservice to a lot of students. It makes them feel like they are incapable. But no, you're more than capable of understanding calculus. It's just they need it breaking down a little bit more. So, yes. All right. So now what do we do? What do we do now? Tell me where are we going to start? What do we do next? Yes, yeah. Math learning is really based off of who opens your brain and who you can connect and understand from. The 4's, X's cancel out. Good. Yes. Okay, so if we move this positive 4x squared to the other side, right? I'm going to do the opposite by minusing. So here, 4 minus 4 cancels. 4 minus 4 cancels. So I'm going to drop down my 10x equals 4 minus 8x. All right. What do we do next? What do we do next? Somebody drop it in the chat. Now both 8x. Good. How do I move the negative 8x? Add. Lexus. Yes. We're going to add 8x to both sides. Beautiful. We're going to add it. Perfect. So 10 plus 8 gives us 18x equals 4. All right. Last step. Always, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, they're multiplied. To undo that, we have to divide. Divide by 18, divide by 18. And x would equal, if we divide this by 2 and divide this by 2, we would get 2 over 9. Whew. And that took this page and this page, right? Let me tell you, if you a math major and you go higher, it's not taking pages. It's taking like 3 or 4 pages, okay? It's like crazy how one problem can take so much paper. And then lastly, we would for sure plug this back in and check it, okay? All right, let's keep it pushing, okay? All right, good. Somebody said fun. I love it. Wonderful. Okay, so now we're going to go to rational expressions, okay? We're going to hit up some rational expressions, and then we're going to do some solving equations, okay? That's the plan for today. And then we're going to end with exponents and radicals, okay? All right, so, all right. Remember, we can never divide fractions, okay? So we have to keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep the left side the same. So 5 over, okay, I'm going to not drop that down because we're going to do something with that. We're going to change this division to times, and then we have to flip this, okay? So my 4 has to go on the bottom. So this has to flip down here, and this has to flip up here, okay? 2x minus 6, okay? Oh, I'll just drop it down. X squared minus 3x. Okay. Now what we have to do, we can't do anything with the 5. But I look here and I have to say, can I do anything with this? Does anybody see it? What can we do with x squared minus 3x? Does anybody know? Hey, Elizabeth, welcome in. Does anybody know what we can do with x squared minus 3x, or how do we write that? They look like they're kind of canceling out from left to right. Okay, good. X plus x dropped the x. Good. Ollie said x parenthesis x minus 3. Ollie, yes, we're factoring out the x. Factor, that's what I was looking for. We're factoring here, okay? So we can pull out an x, and then we ask ourselves, x times what gives us x squared? Well, x times x gets us x squared. X times what gets us negative 3x? Well, negative 3. Negative 3 times x will get us back here. You should always be able to distribute this back in to get this, okay? Over 5 times. Now let's go here. What can we pull out? Zach said 2x minus 6. It can still be, can it be 4x? So good question. I'm asking myself, what can I pull out of here, right? Well, 2 and 6 have 2 in common, so we can factor out a 2. Yes, IKEA, I see you, 2x. So we say 2 times what gives us 2x? Well, x. And then 2 times what gives us negative 6? Negative 3. So now we look here. You see how the 2 and the 4 have something in common. So we can divide out a 2 here, and 4 divided by 2 will leave a 2 on the bottom. We also can cancel out the x minus 3 over the x minus 3. And then we're left with 5 times nothing up top here. So it's just going to be 5 over x times 2, which will give us 2x. And this is how we simplify. Oh, Savannah, thank you, Savannah. Yes, this will be on my YouTube page. I will post it like after it takes a little while for TikTok to download it. But I will get it up. So at Impact Math 19, follow me on YouTube because I also do mini lessons on there. Okay, like 13-minute mini lessons on different topics. So go follow me over there. Thank you for the double taps, you guys. Good. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so I used to love these division, multiplying. This one is the one that's like, headache, right? Because it has a plus sign. So you have to go back to your fraction rules. Remember, in order for us to add fractions, we had to have the same denominator, right? And that was the pain. It's like, how do we even come up with the same denominator? Oh, somebody, Bentley said, I remember the quadratic formula way back when. Please do one. All right, let's see. Do we have the quadratic formula? I'm not sure if I have it on this lesson. No, I don't think I do. But I can put it on for another live. So I'll write that down, quadratic formula. And I most definitely, but I post these. So I since I post them on my YouTube, I really like stick with what people need. So I most definitely will get it down though, okay? Oh, okay, not now. Okay, got you. All right, so B, let's simplify this by factoring this. So we had 2x minus 6, 2x plus 6. So we're just going to take out a 2 here. So we do x over, pull out the 2. Write your parenthesis. Then you're asking yourself, 2 times what gets you 2x? Well, an x. And then 2 times what gets us 6? Well, 2 times 3 gets me 6. So that's that. Plus 5 over. Does anybody know how to factor this or what this factoring is called? Does anybody remember? Can everybody double tap their screen for me, please? Can we get this live to 5K likes? Can the double taps, please? Dots. Difference of squares. I'm not sure. Thank you for the double taps. I see them coming in. Thank you. Thank you. So this is a difference of squares. And what you have to know about a difference of squares, the signs is always going to be plus or minus. Yes, difference of two squares. Good, Mel. Yes. So then we say, what times what gets us x squared? Well, x times x does. And then what times itself gets you 9? 3 times 3. Okay. So now off of that, we can see what we need to do. And how we're going to see that is, remember, we have to have the same exact denominator. So I look here, this, and how we're going to see that is, remember, we have to have the same exact denominator. So I look here, this as well. Then this one, to make this the same as this, the only thing that this is missing is the 2. So what I do to the bottom, I have to times this by 2. And now we can start distributing. So x times x gets us x squared. X times -3 gets us -3x. Okay. Plus 5 times 2 gets us 10. Now, since we have the exact same denominators, we only write the denominator once. So we can write this 2 parenthesis x minus 3 parenthesis x plus 3. And you could have flip-flopped these. It's all the same stuff. Okay. I used to be terrified to go to the board and show my work. I wish you were my teacher way back then. Oh, thank you, Bentley. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for the hand heart. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bentley. Yes. I always encourage my students when I was in the classroom to always feel free. Everybody makes mistakes. Even I mess up. I'm not 100% all the time. So, you really want to create that environment. Mess ups are okay. That's how we learn, right? Can't always be perfect. So now we're going to factor this because it's a trinomial. Take out your 2 parentheses. Whenever the b is the only minus, they both have to be minus. Okay. When this middle term is the only negative, they both must be negatives. Then we break it down. What times what can get us x squared? Well, x times x. Then we go over here. I always do the t-chart. I put 10. I list all my factors of 10. 1 times 10, 2 times, ooh, that pen's dying. 2 times 5. I'm trying to get a -3. So I look here, what's the only pair that can get me a -3 is 2 and 5. Then I have to ask, how can I combine this, right? How do I combine this together to get a -3? Can you guys put it in the chat? Which one has to be the negative? Does anybody know in the chat? Thank you for the double taps, everyone. The 5, Halo said the 5. Good, yes. Shayna said 5, beautiful. Yes, the 5 has to be the negative because if we do 2 minus 5, that equals -3. So that tells me, oh, wait, they both have to be negative, right? Ooh, can we do it? Or is that all we're done? Because if they both have to be negative, according to that rule, -3x, yep, we can't do it. This is non-factorable. Do you guys see that? This is non-factorable because they both must be negative. So why is it coming out like that? I think that's all we can do, you guys. We have to stop there because we can't factor this. So this would be our answer. That's as far as we can go. So let's explain why why they both have to be negative, okay? So let me explain why that is true. Because if we say that, let's just say that this was -5 and this had to be positive, but when we multiply these together, when we do a -5 times a +2, it would get us a -10. And this had to be a positive 10. That's why we cannot have a -5 and a +2. That's why they both have to be negatives, because the numbers that we're multiplying together must come out as a +10. Good. Ebony said right. Good. Okay, good. So you see it. So we can't factor it. So that's our answer. That's all we can do. Okay. Any questions on this one? Any questions? All right, no questions. Let's keep it going. Okay, so we have a multiplication one, okay? And we got some difference of squares. We got some trinomials. So I've always wanted a real life application in school to apply these skills. You are so smart. Oh, thank you, Bentley. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, math really only makes sense when it comes to money. Like, I think about, like, the question, my students like, when am I going to need this? Well, you're not going to necessarily need this stuff, right? But you will need it for, like, when you're trying to invest, when you're trying to go for a phone bill plan, which plan is cheaper, right? Save you more money. How does interest work? Compound interest, all that stuff. That's where it really matters. And it's a shame. I think they should teach more of that real world math. Then, this is what you would need, the critical thinking for like higher level. But everybody should know finance math, man. It would save a lot of people. Yeah, Bentley said, I agree. Yep. All right, so let's do this difference of squares. Remember, difference of squares, we always have a plus and a minus. A times A. And then what times what gives us 9? What times itself? 3 and 3, okay? That's all over A minus 6. Now, we have these trinomials, right? We have a minus and a minus. Whenever you have a minus and a minus, your signs are going to be plus and minus, okay? Oh, nice, Bentley. Nice. You went to the English BA route? Mm-hmm. Cool. And a Juris Doctor? Love it. 3. Okay, so Hazel said 3. All right, so Hazel, or anybody in the chat, I'm going to put A and A. What goes here and here? Does anybody know? What times what gives us 6? Three W? 2 times 3. Yes, good. Now, okay, so it is 2 times 3, right? We have 1 times 6, 2 times 3. But which pair of these can give us a -5? Good. Laz said 1 and 6. Beautiful. So we know it's 1 and 6. Now the next question is, which number has to be the negative and which one has to be the positive in order for us to end up with a -5 when we add them? See, if we do 2 minus 3, right? If we do 2 minus 3, that gives us -1. Oh, you guys are doing, I see. So some people are doing the bottom one, and then some people are doing the top one. So I see. Okay. 6 has to be negative. Good. The 6 must be negative because 1 minus 6 gets us the -5. So we're going to put the 6 with the negative side and the 1 here. And then the bottom, we have 2 negatives, so it's a plus negative. A times A gives us the A squared. And then we already have the 6 written out, but we need a -1 this time. And Shay said 2 minus 3 gives us -1. So the 3 has to be the negative and the 1 has to be the positive. All right. All that work, right? And we're still not done. Now, this is the fun part. After you do all that work, this is where you get to cancel out, right? It's like, yay. Okay, so a plus 1 over a plus 1 cancels. And remember, you can only cancel out top and bottom. You never cancel out across. Like same denominator with denominator. Only top and bottom. Numerator and denominator can only cancel each other. I want to make sure everybody understands that, okay? All right, so a minus 6 is in the denominator. A minus 6 is in the numerator. So those cancel. A minus 3 is in the numerator. A minus 3 is in the denominator. They cancel. So the only thing we're left with, we did all that work just to end up with a plus 3. And that's our beautiful answer. Good. So most definitely, I feel division and multiplying is way more funner. Like if I have to put fun to it, it would be division and multiplication is way better than addition and subtraction. Okay. So now you have to go back. When we see subtraction, we have to go back to our basic fraction rules. Whenever we're subtracting fractions, we have to have the same denominators, the same bottoms. So we're going to put 3 over, we're going to factor out a 4 because both of these have 4 in common. So we'll pull out a 4, put your parenthesis. Then you say 4 times what gives us 4a? Well, a. 4 times what gets us negative 8? Well, negative 2. And if you distribute this back in, you'll get this, okay? Minus a plus 2. Can somebody factor this in the chat for us? A squared minus 2a. What do we get? Thank you for the double taps. Thank you, him, for the double taps, for liking the live. Thank you. Can everybody else double tap their screen for me? I'm going to even double tap with y'all. Can anybody factor this? What's a squared minus 2a? How do we factor it? Hazel said a parenthesis a plus 2. Wonderful, Hazel. Yes. So we do a parenthesis. We're pulling out an a. So a times what gives us a squared? Well, a. And then a times what gives us negative 2a? Negative 2. All right. So now we see we have an a minus 2 and an a minus 2. What we don't have here is an extra a. So we're going to multiply this by a. And what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. Here, this side is missing that 4. So we could do times 4 on this side and times 4. So we would do 3a, because 3 times a is just 3a. Now we have to be careful here. So it says, White Flower said the result for question C is a plus 3 over, okay, so you're giving me the answer. Let's see. A plus 3 over a plus 2. I love it. Okay, let's see if we get there. This is where you have to be careful, okay? Because remember, this 4 is not just times the 2. It's actually times this entire parenthesis, this whole binomial. So we could do minus parenthesis, okay? I'm not going to do too many steps at once. 4 times a is 4a. And then 4 times 2 is plus 8, okay? All over. Since these are the same, you can write it as once. 4a parenthesis a minus 2, okay? Now, this is what most people make a mistake. They forget to distribute the negative here. So we have to look at this as 3a minus 4a. Negative times a positive is a negative 8. All over 4a parenthesis a minus 2, okay? So 3a minus 4a. Well, that gets us a negative a minus 8. All over 4a parenthesis a minus 2. So this right here would actually be our answer. Oh, Hazel, you said the answer for C is A plus 3 over A plus 2. Oh, you're talking about up here. Okay, so why do you say that? I'm trying to follow you. Oh, because, thank you. You caught my mistake. Thank you. A plus 1 is not 1 times 3. We're not doing 3, we're doing 2. And we said it was 2 times 3. I wrote 1. I copied that up there. So this should be a 2 right here. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, 2 times a negative 3. 2, we said 2 minus 3. So this should be a 2 right here. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, White Flower. So then actually this doesn't cancel. So we would have A plus 3. We would have this A plus 1 right here all over A plus 2. Because this and this canceled, this and this canceled. These do not cancel out because they're not the same. I wrote 1 here instead of writing a 2, which we had right here. My mistake. Thank you for clearing that up. Good. So when I posted, people not like, what? How come this is not working out for me? So this is the answer, okay? I said it, but wrote something else. Thank you. Good. All right. Wonderful. Okay, let's go. Let's keep it pushing. So now we're going to solve some equations, okay? We're going to solve some equations. And let's do it where if you don't like fractions, let's get rid of them, okay? So how can we clear our fraction? What can we multiply everything by in order to get rid of this 2 and 3? Can you guys put it in the chat? What can we multiply by in order to clear it out? What do we get? Does anybody know? What can we do to clear it out? And if you don't know, that's fine, okay? So what we can do is we look at what times what gives us. So 12, somebody said 12. That is, but the least common multiple would be 6. So we can multiply this all by 6, okay? So I'm gonna do it step by step, okay? So if we have 6x over 2 minus 6x over 3 equals, and then what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we would end up timesing this by 6 as well. So 12 times 6 would be 6 times 2 gives us what? 12. And then 6, 7, 72. So this would be 72. Well, we can divide these now. 6 divided by 2 is 3x minus 6 divided by 3 is 2x. And 3x minus 2x gives us 1x equals 72. And that is our beautiful answer. So if you saw it right away, where you just went 6 divided by 2 is 3x, 6 divided by 3 is 2x, you could go straight here. You don't have to write this step necessarily, but you need to understand how you're getting this step, okay? Good. Any questions on this one? Any questions? Good, okay, yes, good. All right, let's go to B, you guys. Let's do B. So, again, I want to clear my fraction out. So, I'm looking for what's in my denominator. It's A. So, I'm going to multiply everything by A. Okay? So, I'm going to do 7 times A and get 7A. Plus 6 times A gets me 6A over A equals And then what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 5 times 8 is 5a. So we have 7a plus these a's cancel and just leaves you with the 6 equals 5a. All right, now this becomes a two-step equation. Remember, I need a's to one side and a number to the other. So what do I move? What can I move to the other side? Can you guys put it in the chat? What can I move to the other side? Subtract 7a. Yes, lady. Yes, good. We want to subtract the 7a because we want this 6 by itself. So we're going to subtract 7a to both sides. We're going to drop down the 6. And then 5a minus 7a gets us a negative 2a. Okay. Whenever you have a number attached to a letter, they're multiplied. To undo that, we're going to divide by negative 2 to both sides. So a equals 6 divided by negative 2 gets us negative 3. And that is our beautiful answer. Okay. Good, user. Yes. A equals negative 3. Beautiful. Good. All right. Okay, good. Let's keep on going. So now here we have some proportions, okay? So whenever you have an equal sign in the middle and you just have one fraction equal to a fraction, this is a proportion. And we can cross multiply to get rid of our fraction. So we could do 6 times x minus 3. Do the butterfly, cross multiply here. And then we're going to cross multiply this, equal to 4 times x plus 3. Okay. And then we would distribute. So 6 times x, 6x. 6 times negative 3 gets us negative 18 equals to 4 times x gets us 4x. And 4 times 3 gets us 12. Now this becomes a multi-step equation. What do we do next? Somebody put it in the chat. What do we do next? Subtract the 12. We can do that. Add 18 to both sides. Since I saw subtract the 12, we're going to do that, okay? Since I saw that first. So if I subtract the 12, okay, and I have 6x minus 30 equals 4x. If you subtract the 12, you're then forcing yourself to put the x on the other side. See, most people put the x on the left side and put the number, but it's no wrong thing. You just have to understand that forces you to move this 6x to this side because we can't bring everything to one side. So then we would subtract 6x here. And we drop down our negative 30 equals 4 minus 6 gives us negative 2x. And then what's our last step? What's our answer? What do we get? Thank you for the follow, user. Welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everyone. What is the TSI? The TSI is a entrance college exam, mostly for Texas, like if you lived in the Texas area. But it's like an AccuPlacer, like if you're trying to go to college and they want to test you, you're trying to place high. That's what that is. Divide, negative 15. Good. Okay, so we're dividing, right, by negative 2. A negative divided by a negative is always a positive. And 30 divided by 2 is 15 equals x. Good. So if you got 15, beautiful. Divide by the negative 2. Good, lady. Okay. I'm in intermediate algebra in college. Oh, wonderful. I have a test in less than an hour and I have a sheet to use. Good. I'm glad you got a sheet to use. What are you putting on your sheet? Are you just putting like examples, formulas? What you doing? Good luck on your test, by the way. I hope you knock it out the park. Formulas and examples and steps. Good. Good. Yes, you're so welcome. Oh, thank you, Melanie, for the heart me. Thank you so much. All right, let's look here at D. Okay, we knocking this out. All right, again, remember, we're clearing our fractions. So we cannot cross multiply here. I want to really explain why you cannot cross multiply here, but we can here. As soon as you see a plus something, it throws off the whole cross multiply. It throws it off, okay? So instead, we're going to go back to, we're just going to clear our fractions. And so what that means is we're going to have to multiply everything by an x, because there's an x in here, and an x plus 3. An x plus 3, okay? So if I multiply this to 2, then I'm going to write 2x parenthesis x plus 3. If I multiply this here, I'm going to do it step by step, you guys. 3x times x plus 3 over x equals 2x times x plus 3 all over x plus 3. Okay, I want people to clearly see what cancels out. Okay, so we cancel out the x here, and we can cancel out the x plus 3, the x plus 3 there. Okay, so we're left with 2x times x plus 3. We have a 3 left, plus a 3, and a parenthesis x plus 3 equals 2x times x. We'll do that, okay? Good. Dave said easy. I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to distribute this one. You guys tell me what you guys get when you distribute this, okay? Put it in the chat. Let me see the answers for distributing this one. 2x times x gives us 2x squared, and 2x times 3 gives us 6x. What do you guys get when you distribute here? What do we get? Thank you for the double taps. Okay, Lefty School said 3x plus 9. I love it. Good. Chris said 3x. Good. 3 times x gives us 3x. And then 3 times 3 times 3 gets us a 9. Good. Don't forget to distribute here as well, okay? Equals 2x times x, 2x squared. All right. Whew. These problems are long, right? They make you put some work in for that answer, okay? All right. What do we do next, you guys? What do we do next? Thank you for all the follows and the double taps. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Add like terms. I'm currently doing this in college. Oh, good, Chris. Wonderful. I'm glad you're here on our live. Good. Okay, so what are the like terms? What can we combine? Tell me, what are we adding? Colby, yes, add like terms. Okay, what are they? Oh, you're so welcome, Chris, for the practice. Yes. And also, you guys, for those who are new, I do post all my lives at Impact Math 19 on YouTube. Okay, so this will, like, if you want to go back over, look back over, practice, it will be posted on my YouTube page. 6x and a 3x. Good, Colby. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so these are like terms. So we're going to get 2x squared. 6 plus 3 gives us 9x. Plus 9 equals 2x squared. All right. What do we do now? What do we do now? Does anybody see the answer right now? or not yet? -1. Okay, yes. Okay, -1. All right. So isolate the 9x and subtract the 2x squared from one another. Beautiful. We're going to subtract 2x squared to both sides. As you can see, 2 minus 2 cancels, and 2 minus 2 cancels. So now we have 9x plus 9 equals 0. All right. My son's been struggling with math a lot. Can he go to your YouTube channel? Yes, Megan. Yep, at Impact Math 19. Okay, send him there. Hopefully the way I explain breaks it down in his brain and where he can comprehend, understand. Yeah, send him there. So then we have a plus 9. We want to get rid of it because somebody said isolate it. So we're going to minus 9 to both sides. And then we have 9x equals -9. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And then we're going to divide both sides by 9. And x equals -9 divided by 9 is 1. -1. And yes, you were right on it with the -1. Good. Do you practice negative numbers? Like, do you mean like negative integers? Like are you talking about like that with like, are you saying like a -7 minus a -8? Yes. Okay. Nah, I don't have that yet on my page. But you know who does that really, really well, that has like lots of videos, is Silent Math. She's awesome. She breaks down integers very well. She's great at it. She does multiple videos. So look her up, Silent Math. She has like 1.5 million followers. That's my friend. She's awesome. You're a great teacher. You simplify it. It made it math fun for me. Understand? I like it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys. You guys been hanging with me today, okay? All right. This lesson is almost, I think we got just a little bit left. It is 1:22, and I don't want to start something. I'm gonna leave off right here, okay? Because I'm getting hungry and I need to go refresh. So thank you so much for hanging with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Oh, good. Yes, Chris, you say you follow Silent Math? Wonderful. Yeah, she has a whole bunch of integer videos. Okay, so go check out her page, and I hope it helps you. I've been out of school for years, but I'm watching you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alrighty. Bye, you guys. Have a blessed day. I'll see you guys later.